Uganda as a country, what is on our heads and what is happening currently is the LC1 and LC2 and Women Council elections. But guess what? Parliament of Uganda on May 5th, 2026, under the Supplementary Expenditure Schedule number 5 of the 2025-2026 financial year office square, they passed a budget, or they appropriated 56.95 billion Ugandan shillings for these elections, and this money was distributed to the Electoral Commission to conduct grassroots polls across 71,214 villages countrywide. But guess what? This has been called a cost-saving measure compared to what would be 200 plus or 300 plus to cover the LC1, LC2, and Women Council elections. But after 3 years of an expiry term, what we have is lining behind people we live with every day. If a crisis hits your community tonight, a land dispute, a security threat, or a national emergency, the government doesn't call a minister. They call the LC1 chairperson. Whether you live in the deepest grassed house, thatched houses deep in Uganda or behind electric fences in Kololo, that village, you still live in a village and it's run by an LC1 chairperson. Yet today, as Uganda heads into local council elections, the people holding together the bedrock of these nations earn a humiliating 10,000 shillings. This doesn't just come monthly, but every quarter. Through my lens today, we need to ask ourselves a very serious question. Why do we rely so heavily on village leadership, yet treat it with total institutional contempt? Think about it. When the government rolls out programs that are developmental like the PDM, youth livelihood, MEOG, and all these that have been there, who drives it? It's the LC1 chairpersons. When COVID-19 hit us, or the recent Ebola pandemic, who enforced the quarantines and identified the vulnerable families that needed help? We still run back to the LC1s. These people do a lot of work for our communities. They authenticate land titles, they vet new tenants, mediate family feuds, and issue recommendation letters that approve your very citizenship. Last December, the former Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honorable Anita Among, together with the President, while they met grassroots leaders, or the LC1s and 2s, at Lango College, they promised that there would be an amendment of the law and an increment from 10,000 to 100 local leaders. This is LC1 and 2 chairpersons. But I mean, even if it happened, these are still very, very much peanuts compared to the status quo, compared to the hierarchy of what other administrators receive. When we starve these leaders of basic operation support, why are we surprised when system decay sets in? When a chairman signs 3 fake land titles or alters a dead man's will just to survive, this isn't just individual corruption. It is state-sponsored temptation. Why? And then, look at how we treat their elections. In 2001, we had an election for the LC1 chairpersons. And after that, it took 17 years apart to have another one where we finally elected them in 2018. Their term expired in 2023 July because they were elected on 10th July 2018. So their term expired in 2023. What did government do? They asked for statutory extensions of 180 days, which kept the leaders in office with an expired mandate for 3 whole years. Across the 71,000 villages, I mean, would cost over 200 shillings. But here is one that is cost saving at about 57 billions. Wow, this is dangerous. This creates a false economy. It's not saving. An MP or a president campaigns and goes back either to Kampala or they stay within the constituents but on different village. An LC1 chairperson lives door to door with their voters every single day, forcing neighbors, family members, and tenants to stand against each other in broad daylight. For me, destroys the social fabric of our communities. It breeds long-term grudges, fuels land feuds, and creates hostility that sabotages the very government programs these leaders are meant to run. If we can spend hundreds of billions on sprawling national bureaucracies, we cannot claim to be too broke or to be too much cost cutting to fund a secret ballot for people who actually secure our daily lives. If money is genuinely tight, I guess, and I propose now to the government, let's amend the law, extend the LC1 term probably to 7 years, okay? 7 or 10 years. But when the elections happen, give our village presidents a dignified secret ballot that protects the community peace, that promotes and keeps the harmony in villages, and we don't have effects that we can live long on to regret as a country. Investing in 71,000 villages plus isn't a luxury. It is a prerequisite for a functional state. It's time that I think we aligned our priorities and think of this election not as just as basic, but as a bedrock or as a remarkable force that runs communities every day and the government's pulse in running a body called a state. My name is Katongole Arnold Anderson, and this is how I see it through my lens. Several leaders have come through grassroots leadership, the likes of former Vice President Specioza Wandera Kazumwe, the Right Honorable former Speaker Emeritus, Emeritus times 2, the Right Honorable Kadaga. Have politics started there. We've seen key leaders begin their generations there.